Have you ever thought about that powerful kind of sudden shift? 1 minute life is just normal, and the next, puberty hits, and suddenly you're interested in a whole new group of people. It's confusing, it's intense, and honestly, it can be pretty overwhelming. So today, we're going to break down the science and psychology behind attraction to help you figure it all out while staying true to who you are. So what's the deal with this feeling? Is it some kind of magic that just takes over your life? Or is it something a little more scientific? We all start feeling this strange pull, right? We start daydreaming about connecting with someone, and a lot of the time, we have no idea what's even happening to us. And look, these feelings are totally normal, but they can definitely lead us into some tricky situations, especially when we're young. So let's get a real framework for understanding what's actually going on inside our heads.
Here's our game plan. We're going to walk through 6 key ideas to help make sense of it all. We'll kick things off with the brain chemistry, then we'll look at your own personal patterns, bust a few common myths, chat about priorities, and then we'll land on the single most important rule you need to know.
All right, first up, let's get into the science of it all. Those wild, heart-pounding feelings you get, they're not just random. There's a very real scientific reason for them, and it all starts in your brain.
We always say love comes from the heart, but the real action is happening upstairs. When you feel that spark, your brain unleashes this powerful chemical cocktail. You've got dopamine, which is that hit of pleasure, norepinephrine, which gets you all excited and focused, and oxytocin, the stuff that makes you want to bond and attach long term.
And this chemical rush is no joke. It can be as addictive as cocaine. That's why when you're really into someone, you might totally lose your appetite, or you can't sleep, or you feel this crazy, intense jealousy. It's a powerful, powerful force. The key is to understand it so you're not just a slave to it.
But okay, it's not all just chemicals. Our past actually plays a huge role in how we connect with people today. The way we bonded with our parents when we were kids creates this kind of love blueprint for our adult relationships. And this is what we call our attachment style. So if your emotional needs weren't always met when you were growing up, you might develop what's called an insecure attachment style. On one side, you have anxious attachment. That's where you might feel like you're not worthy of love, and you find yourself always chasing after people. And on the other side, there's avoidant attachment, where sharing your feelings is really hard, and you might even push people away when they show you love. And look, figuring out your own style, it's absolutely crucial. If you do have an insecure attachment, you can get stuck repeating the same painful patterns over and over. Just recognizing it, that is the #1 most important first step to building healthier connections. All right, let's move on to number 3. Let's talk about how that brain chemistry we just mentioned can play some serious tricks on you, convincing you that the person you're into is completely 100% flawless. This is a really big one. When we're infatuated, our brain is literally wired to only see the good stuff. It's like we become blind to any flaws. So if you catch yourself thinking, wow, this person is perfect, that should be a little red flag, a signal to pause and remember that something is probably a little off. No one's perfect.
That initial chemical spark of attraction, you can't always control that. It just happens. But choosing to get attached, to actually build a relationship with someone, that part is 100% in your control. The goal isn't to find a perfect person. It's to be willing to see and to accept a real person, flaws and all. Which brings us to our 4th point, and this one is all about busting a huge myth. Especially when we're young, this whole idea that true love is a one-time thing.
Seriously, believing that you only get one shot at love causes so much unnecessary pain and desperation. It's just not true. The reality is, you'll feel attraction more than once. Many people are going to come and go in your life. One rejection or one breakup is not the end of your story. Not even close.
I love this analogy. If someone doesn't accept you, or if they aren't adding anything good to your life, chasing them is like running after a bus you already missed. It's just pointless and exhausting. It's so much smarter to just wait for the next one to come along.
Okay, on to number 5. When you're swept up in a new attraction, it can feel like the single most important thing in the entire universe, right? But it is so important to keep your own life, your own goals, and your priorities straight.
So how do you know if a crush is turning into a negative distraction? Well, here are the signs. You're getting distracted from school, from work, from your own personal goals.
You find that thoughts about them are constantly getting in the way of you doing important stuff. If that's happening, it's a huge sign that this might just be a chemical reaction that you need to get a handle on.
Because here's the deal. A truly healthy connection doesn't pull you away from your life. It adds to it. The right kind of connection actually motivates you. It makes you feel happier, and it helps you become more productive, not less.
And that brings us to our final and, honestly, our most critical rule. In this whole game of love and attraction, with all its ups and downs, there is one thing you must always protect. So, what does sacrificing your self-respect even look like? Well, it's running after someone who's clearly not interested. It's blowing up their phone for no reason, just hoping for a reply. It's letting it slide when they treat you badly in front of other people. It's throwing your own standards out the window just to try and get their love.
Let me be crystal clear here. Your self-respect isn't just another item on the list. It is the most important thing. Period. It's the foundation that every single healthy relationship you ever have will be built on.
And this question right here says it all. I mean, think about it. If you have to give up your self-respect just to get someone, what did you really win? You've already taught that person that your respect for yourself is something you're willing to negotiate, and that's a foundation built on sand.
So, as we wrap this all up, it really comes down to this. Navigating attraction is complicated, for sure, but the core ideas are pretty clear. And it all starts with you. So the real question you need to be asking yourself is this one. In your search for connection, what will you refuse to sacrifice?